As we saw in the tutorial about the notes, all music is built from this physical phenomenon of air vibrating at a certain frequency. At 262 Hz we have this, a music note called C4. On the other side we have C5. It looks like it's the same note, but it vibrates twice as fast. Unless one has absolute pitch, our brain does not really recognize these frequencies, but it is capable of recognizing the gap between two notes, which is called an interval. For example, the interval between these two notes is called an octave. It's a simple interval. We only multiply the frequency by 2. It's composed of 12 semitones. The octaves are spread alternatively on the left and right. These notes look very similar. They are all C on the orange keys, more or less acute. Let's come back to our C from the beginning, and this time we multiply its frequency by 3/2. We get a G. It's located 2 lines after the C, and we can find it again at different octaves. The interval between C and G is called a perfect fifth. It's composed of 7 semitones. These notes sound very naturally together, regardless of where they are played. For example, we can see that the fifth of G is D. If we consider the symmetric key of the fifth from the orange key, located 2 lines before the C, we get an F. It vibrates 4/3 faster than the C. The interval between C and F is a perfect fourth. It's symmetrical to the fifth. Again, we have 2 notes sounding very naturally together. The octave, the fourth, and the fifth are what we call perfect intervals. As you can see, we can build the basic elements of music with just a little math on frequency ratios. We can logically continue this sequence of numbers and create 2 new intervals, the major third and the minor third. Both are located on the next line. Major third towards the inside and minor third towards the outside. It's the same on the other side. Major, minor. These 2 intervals give the 2 primary colors in music, major and minor. They will enable us to build chords. They also have their symmetrical, the minor sixth and the major sixth. To continue with math, know that we can add intervals. For example, a major third plus a minor third equals a fifth. If we add 2 minor thirds, we get a diminished fifth, also called the devil's interval, because of its weird sound. It's equal to its symmetrical, the augmented fourth. Jazzmen also call it the blue note. Let's continue our additions, starting from the fifth. If we add a major third, we get the major seventh, also known as the leading note. And if we add a minor third, we get the minor seventh. And finally, the symmetricals, minor second and major second. Thus, to sum up, notes are spread on 7 intervals, odd ones on one side and even ones on the other. Each one is either perfect, minor, major, diminished, or augmented. If we trace lines like these, we get the stave. So on the right keyboard we have the stave lines, and on the left one the line spacings. But I'm stopping here because we're not going to use this notation to play the dualo. Now you know the essential about notes and intervals, you can move on to chords. Thank you for following this tutorial, and now play on.